Hi, my name is Catherine and this is my Capstone project. How can I learn about a career in entomology? By making a field guide. Ever since I was a kid, I loved bugs. I would spend most of my afternoons and weekends exploring nature, going on hikes with my family and all sorts of things. Like many children do, I would go around chasing or searching for worms and snails and ladybugs and roly-polies. I would try and get crickets. I would hold mini funerals for dead flies and ladybugs I would find. And then at home I was known as pest control because I was known for finding or collecting bugs as well as helping deal with the bugs when they were inside our houses. For example, if there was a spider on the ground or something, my parents would call me over and I'd just scoop them up and bring them outside, no fee or whatever. In recent years, I've really connected with entomology even more so. For my CLC project in grade 10, I did the project on where you're trying to figure out what career you want to do. I did it for entomology, and so I did a whole bunch of research on how to become an entomologist or what sort of grades you need, the programs, the different universities and colleges, and all that sort of jazz, but I didn't actually learn about what you do in the specific careers. Yeah, well, I've had some experience working with bugs for garden club, especially with our mason bee project, bringing mason bees to the Van Tech Gardens, as well as in life sciences and apibiology, studying pill bugs and daphnia and crickets. I haven't actually gotten to go out and try and find them on my own. They've always been bugs that were brought to us in a classroom setting and that we studied in a classroom setting. So I think it's going to be a different experience going out on my own and trying to find them in our actual urban city. For post-secondary, I'm going into forestries, so I'm hoping by learning about different careers in entomology, I'll have a better idea of what I want to do after university and what I want to do for my career. Some skills I already had prior to this project were photography and drawing. Not only did I enjoy entomology as a kid, I also loved arts and drawing, so over the years I've developed skills for drawing that I can hopefully use for this project, for drawing out the illustrations and for writing observations and all that sort of jazz, as well as photography. It's also an important skill for taking photos of the bugs for the scientific illustrations, as well as for observations later on and for the research. Another skill that I come into this already having is researching. I think most high schoolers can say that we're all pretty good at doing research on projects, having to have done it for the past 5 years with socials and with sciences. Going along with research, there's also writing. I will say my writing skills are much weaker compared to my other skills I've listed, especially since, like research, writing I've only really been doing throughout high school and elementary school, and even with that, none of the writing that I've been doing has prepared me to write a field book. It's more so just been on essays and lab reports. So I've decided in order to keep me on schedule and on the right track for this project, I'm going to set goals for myself every week. They're going to be about just trying not to fall behind. I'm going to have some buffer weeks though, just in case I can't reach all of the goals right away or I have something that comes up. You never know. I'm taking academic courses, of course, while doing this project, so we'll see how it goes. For these goals, they're going to be in 3 big parts. One for each month, roughly. Part 1 is going to be about researching the different bugs. So I'm going to write out all of the information about them for the actual book. I'm going to leave some spaces open for when I actually am going to go out and observe them, but that's going to be for a different part. For part 2, it's going to be about researching the actual careers that come with entomology. So I'm hoping I can research about 4 or 5 different careers and learn about the different skills they use and techniques, and so I'm going to use those for part 3, which is going to be about finding the different bugs, taking photos of them, drawing about them, and adding my observations to my research that I did in part 1. Very quickly along this process, I realized that I was going to need somebody to help support me and guide me along the way. And while I did look around for family and friends who are part of entomology field, as it turns out, I don't know many people who are actually working and studying and doing research with bugs. So instead I turned to YouTube Through YouTube, I found some great channels who were able to help explain field guides and explain entomology and explain bugs and the work they were doing in a simple, easily digestible manner. One of the channels I'm using for mentoring is the Royal Entomological Society. They have lots of different people talking about their different careers and their different findings in their careers. They talk about all sorts of different animals too, and organisms and insects. Another mentor for me was Emily Oman. I hope that's how you say her name. I found this video of hers explaining how and what makes up a field guide really helpful. So I just got back from the public library where I've picked out some of the books I'm going to be doing and using as inspiration for the project. When I went to the library, I discovered a whole bunch of different types of entomology books. Some of them were much sillier and they weren't necessarily as strict or as scientific. So for my own project, I've decided to bring some of that creativity into it. So it's going to be part scientific, part personal, talking about my stories with the bugs. Okay, so I just did some unfortunate findings. And it turns out that most bugs only come out, actually I don't know why I didn't expect this sooner, but most bugs only start coming out when it's around, this is Fahrenheit, I'll add it in Celsius because this is, I read it from an American website, but at around like 70 degrees Celsius. So it's gonna be a big problem, especially because that normally means, especially for North America, it starts, most of the bugs come out during spring or a lot more so during summer. I don't think I'm gonna have until July to wait though, because unfortunately the school year ends before that, but that's okay. I think either I'm gonna just have to use other internet sources, which don't really want to do. I want to be able to try and find all these bugs, or yeah, I don't know. Okay, I know I was scared for a little while that I wasn't actually going to be able to find any bugs, but as you can see from the sun shining on my face, it is in fact sunny in Vancouver, and so I've been able to go out and I've been able to find a whole bunch of bugs. I haven't been able to find as many or all of the bugs I'd hoped to find, especially because it's not going to happen. As I said previously, there's just not enough time where it is actually going to be summer months and when it's going to be sunny enough and warm enough for them to be out, but hopefully there's enough. I've also started drawing out all the bugs, and so it's been a pretty straightforward process, finding my references and then just drawing out the bugs on a piece of paper. And then after that I've started taking their photos and adding them finally to my Word document, which is actually going pretty well. And part 3 personally was my favorite part because you were actually able to go outside. This is one thing I have learned throughout my research, is that a lot of these careers, well, it sounds like you'll be spending all this time outdoors in nature. A lot of it is just sitting at a desk doing paperwork and doing research and having to write all these lab reports and all these papers. So, while the dream is, and I know the goal and what a lot of people love doing in these fields of science, and especially of life sciences and natural sciences, are going outside and exploring and getting to work with the organisms, that's not actually what the majority of the career is going to be like. Some challenges that I faced along the way included the weather. Because of where we live, I find that the weather shifted around a whole bunch, making it really hard to predict when I could actually go out and take photos and draw bugs. The weather's also been a really big issue, especially because bugs don't really tend to come out in the rain or when it's cooler. And since we've had a more cold, wetter spring, it's been really hard to find the bugs. So part 3 of my project, the part that I had already scheduled, had to be rushed, so it was a lot harder to keep on track of time. I managed this by becoming better at my time management skills, actually. I had to create more of a schedule, not only for the Capstone project, but for my actual life. Another obstacle I faced was actually just drawing the bugs. Turns out part 3 had a lot more challenges than I thought it would initially have. For drawing the bugs, my original plan was to just go outside on the sunny days and just sit there and draw them. But what I didn't think about at the time was how bugs move around. So what ended up happening was that I would go outside, I'd sit down, I'd find a bug, I'd start drawing it, but by the time I'd look up to redraw it or to add more details, it would already be gone, so I wouldn't be able to find the exact same bug I was trying to find or in the same position. So that idea had to be scrapped. So what I ended up doing was just going around taking the photos of the bugs, coming back inside, and then just drawing them with the photo in front of me as a reference. I think this also really helped because, like I said, bugs are very fast and they move around a lot, but also lighting changes dramatically just with the clouds moving past the sun and around the area. So I found I was able to actually do more details and more shadows on the drawings than I probably would have been able to if I had tried to keep on doing it all outside. The key successes I faced was with preparation. I found at the very beginning I was having a really rough time. I didn't have anything organized or anything planned. So for the first week or two, I just really did not know what was happening and it was just kind of a mess. After that though, I started organizing everything. I made the goals, I made a calendar with all the projects and all the parts that I needed to do for it. And I found this really helped me because I was able to visualize what I was doing as I went. And it meant that I wasn't as stressed out throughout the project and I wasn't panicking trying to figure out what to do next because I had a roadmap of my project. Another one of my big successes was finding a mentor right away. I think without the mentor I would have been kind of hooped. I think sometimes I'm a bit too prideful and I like to just try and do whatever I can and not ask for help. But in a way, finding a mentor was me kind of looking for help. It helped me realize how to make the field guidebook and how to make it better than I would have ever created it, as well as it helped me understand the different careers in entomology and how people do them and how they related back to the project I was doing. I think I've grown throughout this process, well, especially my hair length. Throughout the process of this project, I've learned time management skills as well as organizational skills. I've learned how to push myself to actually keep on track of my work, especially when I don't have others to do that for me. I also found throughout this project I've become a lot stronger of a writer, especially because most of what I chose to do for it is writing as well as research. Even though my capstone is not 100% complete, I've learned that I can't make everything perfect and that you just need to keep on going. I tend to be a perfectionist in my work and I like to go back and make sure something's perfect by doing it over and over again until it's exactly how I envisioned it. For this project, I both had limited resources and time, so I was unable to do so it made me learn to prioritize what needed to be done instead of just focusing on the tiny little things. And so it meant I had to look at the big picture, which really helped. And I'm hoping will help in the future with other projects that I do. From my bucket of arts and crafts and music I was going to learn and all these skills I said I'm going to do over the years, I'm really proud that I was actually able to finish something. And so I think this capstone has really helped me realize how I can maybe complete those projects in the future. By doing this project in a manner through goal settings and through steps, I was actually able to see my process and see how much work I had accomplished, which further motivated me to actually finish the project because I could see the end point. So I think this project really taught me that I need to be able to see the process and see my goals and the end results, or how we're getting to the end results in order to finish it. I know I can still add on to this field guide in future, but for my capstone I realized that I could only do so much for it, and so I think I'm really proud of the accomplishments and how far I actually managed to make it. In conclusion, this essential question has helped me explore my future. From this experience, I've surfaced with more ideas of what I want to do for future careers, as well as I feel like I have a better understanding of how to keep myself motivated and how to accomplish my goals. Because this project was done on an online document, and like I discussed before, I hope I can take this project with me in the future, and so I hope that I can continue researching bugs from wherever I end up. I hope this way I can continue staying connected to my land and to my surroundings, as well as I hope to be able to utilize the skills I've learned and my own self-discovery to finish some of my unfinished projects that I have. Yeah, I'm really proud of what I've done.
Where is it? Right there. That's amazing. I'll add that into my capstone.